For decades, the world believed that nuclear testing belonged to the Cold War era, buried in history along with fallout shelters and duck-and-cover drills. But today, that assumption is being quietly challenged. In recent years, U.S. intelligence agencies have made a stunning accusation that China may have carried out secret nuclear tests hidden from the global monitoring system designed to detect them. At the same time, Beijing is rapidly expanding its nuclear arsenal, aiming to more than double the number of warheads it possesses by the end of this decade. So what is really happening behind closed doors? Is China preparing for a new era of nuclear competition? And are we on the edge of a new global arms race? Let's break it down. In 2020, U.S. officials claimed they detected suspicious seismic activity linked to a possible underground nuclear test in China. According to these reports, the event occurred on June 22, 2020 at a Chinese test site. The technique allegedly used is called decoupling. Decoupling works like this. Instead of detonating a nuclear device directly in solid rock, the explosion happens inside a large underground cavity. This cavity absorbs much of the shock wave, dramatically reducing the seismic signal that normally alerts global sensors. In simple terms, it's like setting off a bomb inside a padded room. This makes the explosion much harder to detect and even harder to prove. China, of course, has denied conducting any nuclear tests since signing the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. But here's the catch. The treaty was never fully ratified, and China is not legally bound by all of its enforcement mechanisms. So while there's no public proof, there's also no easy way to disprove the intelligence claims. Nuclear tests aren't just about explosions, they're about confidence. Modern nuclear weapons are incredibly complex systems. Materials age, components degrade, designs evolve, and without live testing, engineers rely only on simulations and subcritical experiments. If China is truly modernizing its arsenal, it may want to validate new warhead designs, improve reliability and yield control, develop smaller, more efficient nuclear weapons, test survivability and penetration technology. In other words, not just more bombs, but better bombs. Right now, China's nuclear arsenal is estimated at about 600 warheads. That's far smaller than the United States or Russia, both of which have over 5,000 warheads each in total inventories. But China is not trying to match them immediately. Instead, Beijing is focused on strategic parity, enough weapons to ensure no enemy can destroy China without being destroyed in return. By 2030, China aims to surpass 1,000 nuclear warheads. This would make China the third true nuclear superpower, not just in name, but in scale. To achieve this, China is building hundreds of new missile silos, expanding its ballistic missile submarine fleet, deploying mobile ICBM launchers, and developing hypersonic nuclear delivery systems. This is not defensive modernization, it's strategic expansion. Let's look at the current numbers. United States, total warheads about 5,177. Deployed and ready, about 1,770. Russia, total warheads about 5,459. Deployed and ready, about 1,718. China, total warheads about 600. Deployed and ready, about 40 to 60. That last number is key. China currently keeps very few weapons on high alert, but that's changing. As China expands, it will likely increase not just total warheads, but operational readiness. That means more missiles ready to launch, faster decision times, and more risk of escalation. Now, here's where things get really dangerous. The NSART Treaty, the last major nuclear arms control agreement between the US and Russia, expires in February 2026. After that, no legal limits on deployed warheads, no inspections, no verification, no transparency. In other words, no brakes on the arms race. If NSART collapses without replacement, the world enters a nuclear environment with zero enforced ceilings on the two largest arsenals. And China? China is not part of any major nuclear limitation treaty. Even worse than warhead counts is something called upload capacity. Both the US and Russia store hundreds, even thousands of nuclear warheads in reserve. In a crisis, they can take these stored warheads and rapidly mount them onto missiles and bombers. Experts estimate this could happen in less than 6 months. That means global nuclear forces could double in a single year. Arms control would become meaningless. Deterrent stability would vanish. China is now developing similar capacity. So instead of just building more warheads, all three powers are preparing to scale instantly in a crisis. This isn't just about bombs, it's about time, trust, and fear. The faster weapons can be deployed, the less time leaders have to think. The less trust between nations, the more likely worst-case assumptions become reality. And when nuclear powers stop talking, history shows that accidents and miscalculations follow. China may not be shouting about its nuclear expansion, but its actions speak clearly. Secret test allegations, a 1,000 warhead goal, new missile fields, submarine patrols, hypersonic nuclear delivery systems. This is not modernization, this is preparation for long-term nuclear competition. The question is no longer if a new arms race is happening, it's whether the world will admit it in time to stop it. If you found this analysis valuable, make sure to like this video, it really helps the channel grow. Subscribe to Military Power TV for in-depth, no-nonsense breakdowns of global military power, strategy, and modern warfare. And hit the bell so you don't miss the next video. This is Military Power TV.